treasure that you exalt other than God, the only time that you'll pray is when that thing is at stake.
What's going on? You in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Rachel, Shantana, DJ Jeremiah. We got Renaissance Movement in the building. How y'all fellas doing, man?
Good, what's happening, fellas?
Good, man. Y'all been working, man. Y'all been really working, man. So tell us like how everything's been going. What's coming?
Yeah, man. Things have been going great, bro. We're actually here this week shooting a bunch of music videos.
Wow.
So we're excited about, man. We're shooting 3 music videos.
All on my iPhone. It's going to be great.
3 videos in 2 days, bro. So, a lot of grind, a lot of hustle. But, we're grateful for what God is doing, man.
That's what's up, man.
All right, what y'all shooting videos for? What phone? Oh, wait, y'all don't want to tell it, John?
No, it's fine. We literally going to pick them tonight.
I asked them that earlier. They were like,
we don't know. Like, where the video going to be? Atlanta? I really don't know. Like, we nailed it down. I think, what did we pick? We picked the track called Without You. Yeah. That Shine I did. My man Laquan Green produced it. And he did some stuff on Thizzle's record.
Okay.
He lives in our area. We're probably going to do a track either called Harvey Dent or one called Spurgeon Theory. And that's both a track featuring Mike and Sana.
Okay.
And Harvey Dent was kind of the whole, Two-Face dealing with that thing. It's it's a dope record. And Spurgeon Theory was just you got the quote from Spurgeon, man. You know that.
Well, I'm not sure if y'all know who Charles Spurgeon is, but of course. He's like a British pastor or something of the sort. And somebody had asked him one time. They said, "How do you defend the Bible?" He said, "The same way you defend a lion. You don't. You just let it out the cage."
Wow.
And so we did a song called Spurgeon Theory based on that quote, basically saying like, look, we can sit here and try to go through the hermeneutics and the theology and all that stuff, but sometimes you just got to let the lion out.
Yeah.
And let him stand for himself.
Yeah.
Because he didn't need anybody to take a stand for him because he's that powerful. So.
Yeah. Nice.
Wow.
That's what's up, man. And y'all are not just like a movement, man. Y'all are a well-oiled machine, man. I see y'all's Instagram. Y'all got the table set up, man, when y'all do y'all shows. My man, Legend, you just got it set up like where everything is just going like clockwork, man. Like I asked you a question and your calendar's in your head. Like, oh no, I got this date already booked, man. So how do you all focus on the music, on the ministry, and also on family?
Oh, we just make up stuff on the spot to make you think we busy. And I really don't have anything on that date, so please call me. I mean, it's I've been blessed, man. I have a really, really good team, man. Like all the social media stuff, that's Nicole. Shout out to Nicole. That's Jermaine's wife. She's killing it for us. And we just gave her the tools and like, what do you need? So I need this, that, and the third, and we let her run and she goes crazy with it. And we try to really do good at acknowledging everybody's gifts. Like I do 2 or 3 things real good and I suck at like 7 things. So we find other people that can do that. And God's just been really blessing that. So every time we go somewhere, we're taking notes, we're going to shows, we're learning, you see so-and-so set up, that's almost dope. How can we incorporate something like that over here? And so we just try to grow, and hopefully that encourages the kingdom and we can encourage other people. So.
I think that's important what you said, because we have a lot of artists that listen to our show, and I think what you said about finding the people who can do what you can't do, because I know for me that was a challenge for me when we first started this. Was I wanted to do everything because I had a certain way I wanted it to be, and I wanted to be the one to do it. But you can't survive that way. You need to find people that are better than you at stuff so they can take some of that weight off of you so you can stay focused on the vision.
Yeah.
And I know if you're like a busybody like me that wants to get stuff done like right now the way I want it, that could really slow you down. Because everything's on you, you know what I mean?
And that's the tough part because like because I'm the visionary, right? Like I see things like a way down the road, so I see it in my head a certain way. So when I bring people on to help me with it, they've got to do that their way, and I'm like, no, but I saw it like this. God told me this, and but I'm gonna do it this way. And you got to let go of your vision and take a risk with other people, and that's the tough part is artists being able to keep the vision of your art, but then trust the people God puts in your life to help put legs to it. And they can do it better than you ever could, and it's just dying to yourself in that way and letting it go. And that's been my journey the past year and a half. Because they are constantly checking me like, bro, you can't do all this by yourself. Yeah, and that's just my default mode, unfortunately. So,
and I think that's what really changed my life is hearing. I heard a quote, I can't remember where, but it said, "The greats aren't great at everything. The greats know how to find people who are great." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you could find great people to help you do what you do, that's what makes the whole thing work.
Yeah.
If it's all on you, you're gonna fail. So that's really good.
That's kind of where we're at. To your point, Ryan, God's been bringing a lot of great friends and family and people in our lives that have been taking the burden, and then we made it a priority to rest and be with our families and be with our friends. Like as a unit, we we're real big on family first. Like I'm not when I hanging out because we got bars, when I hanging out because we got show. Like if you wouldn't die for me and I wouldn't raise your kids, like we can't do this music together kind of thing. That's kind of how we live. And then after that, we'll talk about let's hop on this track together. And so we try to have that foundation first, and we really try to make sure everybody's resting and all that. Because I see everybody posting and tweeting, grinding all day grinding. I never see anybody celebrating the Sabbath.
Wow.
Nobody ever celebrates rest, yo. And I'm saying that knowing that I struggle with that. Yeah. But we work really hard to say, hey man, I need to take a day. Can you handle this stuff for me? I need to go just chill. And we try to do that and keep each other accountable. So
that's what's up.
Just to kind of add to that, I joined Renaissance about 2 years ago.
Okay.
And years ago. And and when I first came on, it was like, yo, we're fans of yours. We want you to join, but let's just get to know one another. You come over my house, meet my family, I meet your family, we hang out, we grow in relationship, build on that first, because I've been in relationships that was built simply on what we could do on a microphone. Yeah. And if that didn't pan out the way we thought, relationship's gone.
Yeah. Now you said we're fans of yours. What was the situation before? How did y'all discover the talent in the first place to say, we're fans of yours, we want you to come over and join us?
Well, in Virginia, years back, there was a really crazy Christian hip hop scene, man. And it was like just artists all over the place. I mean, there was tons of artists. There were like 3 or 4 shows a weekend, and everybody was going to different ones, supporting one another and stuff. And so I saw these dudes at different events, and it was like we saw each other at events. We knew each other. We had respect for one another. We were fans of one another's music. And so we saw each other. It was like, hey, what's up? How you doing? Good. Family good? All right, peace. That's all it was. But no, 2 years ago, he approached me and said, look, I really want to go deeper than that, man. So can we get to know one another?
Okay.
And so now it's like, I personally feel, and I believe this with all my heart, if I never picked up another microphone a day in my life, I would still be in relationship with these guys and be able to call them and say, hey, I need prayer. Hey, you want to hang out or something? It's not built on something that's temporary, but I think we're building something that goes far beyond the music. Music is just an addition to what we built behind the scenes. And so that's what drives Renaissance's family.
That's awesome. We've been talking about recently, what's the best way to witness? What's the best way to be an evangelist? What's the best way? What's the most effective witness? And because I see so many people choose a certain way and they say this is the best way, and I wonder how many people choose what's most convenient for them. So for instance, some people say just live a really good life and people will ask you about Jesus, right? Other people say let me get really, really famous, and then once I get famous, then I'll tell people about Jesus because I'll be really influential. And some people say just go out there and yell at people and tell them Jesus is, you're going to hell. So like, what's the best way to actually change somebody's heart? You can't change it, but what's the best way to present the gospel to people?
I think all of what you named in some way, because it does actually relate to who we are. God made us the way we are for a reason. Some people are more reserved, some people are more aggressive, some people are, so God made us the way we are for a reason. So that may come out in going out. Personally, I don't believe in going out and screaming at people. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that wins in the battle.
Fun though.
You know what I'm saying? It may be fun, but I don't think that's the way to go. Personally, man, I think that people are most affected when they see your life. 90% of what you say is not what you say. It's how you live. So the people look at your life more so than they look at or listen to what you're saying. So I think that's the one thing in my mind. The biggest thing is modeling Christ for people, and that's what we try to do. It's like, okay, you hear me on the mic, you hear me spitting, I'm saying all these wonderful things, but when you meet me after the show, I'm out jerk. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. What kind of dude am I when you meet me off stage? You ask me for an autograph or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's it, modeling Christ for me.
That's what's up.
Yeah. You want to stay here?
No, yeah. Go.
when I started going to the church I'm going to, my pastor, the first question I had for my pastor was, "Can you please show me what intentional discipleship looks like?" Because you always hear, I mean, the last thing Jesus says is, "Go make disciples." Peace. There's something. It's probably an important statement. You know what I'm saying?
Write that down.
And like, write this one down. If you forget the other, whatever. Like, so I'm like, how do we do that? Because I was never shown a method or an intentionality with it. I was shown, show up to church, go to a Bible study. Eventually, by osmosis, you'll get it. Yep. And that's kind of what it is. So. And he had this real heavy emphasis on just relational discipleship evangelism piece. So that's my thing, like getting into people's lives, because if Jesus could only handle 12 and one of them was a snake, I'm not going to be able to disciple a crowd full of people. Right. You know what I'm saying? So what are the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people that God has assigned in my life that I'm supposed to really drill in deep with? And how do I make intentional space to be with them? Is it just a theology class? No, that's not all Jesus did. Is it just a Bible study? I mean, he spent his life with people. And like every time I do that and open my life up, I see God changing me and changing people around me. And the conversations I want to have with people, like, hey, man, I want to talk to you about this issue I see, they open up naturally when the relationship and the trust is there. I don't have to come at them with a picket sign to make it work. Yeah. I'm just like, you love me and I love you, and you can trust each other.
Natural.
That stuff happens, man. So one thing we try to do, and we haven't been doing super great with it lately, but we're getting back to it this year, is just we create fellowships just for people in our lives. Yeah. Like we get together as a core team, but then we have open fellowships. Potluck, food, who you want to bring? Yo, my coworker really been on my heart. Yo, bring him. Tell him we just bring his wife and kids. Yeah. Yo, got the home girl. She's got divorced. Bring her with her. I mean, we just start doing all these type of things. Let's get together and let's just see what God does.
Yeah. Who cooking though?
Huh?
Who cooking?
Man, listen, that's the shady part. Can't trust everybody's stuff. I bring my wife food and I eat her plate. Yeah. It's whatever, man. We farm fresh chicken and some people bring some stuff. But we've seen really deep relationships formed out of that, because we just say, Spirit of God, do what you please in this space. And if something deeper is supposed to happen, make it clear to us. And that's
I just wonder how many artists in this world we're in are willing to be discipled, because it's tough. Like, I mean, I got discipled by somebody that we're familiar with, and there's stuff that you want to do that you get, it's like, no, you can't do that. Yeah. There's stuff that you think you should be doing that's like, hey, I don't think that's right for you. How many people are willing to go through that process when it's like, no, I know what I want to do. I'm going to do it this way. Are these artists out here being discipled by somebody? Are they willing to do that?
That was the fall in our area, man. Like, I think a lot of, and I don't think it was the fault of the fault of. I said the fault of.
You did say that.
I did say that, bro.
I was gonna let that.
Is there like editing that's gonna happen? That's just, it's too late. There's cameras here. Okay. I think a lot of artists, myself included, in our area, like that whole scene that he was talking about, it fell to pieces. And I think one of the reasons it fell to pieces was the relationships weren't based on anything stable. Yeah. And I don't think a lot of the artists were adequately fathered and discipled by ministries they were at. A lot of guys were just, oh, you got bars? Well, every fifth Sunday is youth Sunday. Get on. Yeah. And they were getting you know what I'm saying? So there was I think a lot of that died. That's not the only reason, but I think that it's tough to, if you don't have a culture of worship where discipleship is emphasized, if somebody comes to you and offers it, you don't really know the value to accept it. And then what if you can't do what you want for a little while? Yeah. People that are mature, they're like, look, I need this. Yeah. And some people that don't know. So
because it's uncomfortable, and it's a big responsibility for the person doing the discipling that they're legit. You know what I'm saying? Because we've seen some. I think people are burned by, there may be an artist that's mentoring you or a pastor that's mentoring you, and then they totally just ruin their life. Yeah. And now it's like, well, then why am I listening to anybody talk? Everybody's messed up. And I think we just need to reestablish some of that, because there's some artists that are coming up that need some mentorship and some discipling that, but who's going to actually, who's willing to do that? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of discipleship, like my brother Legend said, you got to let people into your life. Mm-hmm. Jesus lived life with these 12 guys. And a lot of people don't want to live life with people because that'll break down every single facade that they try to present. Yeah. When you're in public, we can put on a face. You can see that, oh, he's always happy, he's always smiling, he's always greeting people. Yeah, cool. But when you're behind closed doors is when a lot of things show. Mm-hmm. And a lot of us have to keep up a facade like, well, I'm always like this, because we feel like if we show a shortcoming or if we show a struggle we have, that we're less spiritual. Mm-hmm. That people will, that we have less authority in people's lives. But it's like a lot of times people need to see the good things, to see that the grace of God can help, can save, but they also need to see the bad, to see that the grace of God is needed. Because a lot of times when people know that you need it, when you're the one that's kind of mentoring them, it kind of encourages them to say, okay, now I understand. Now I can experience this as well. Because all I've known is people pointing down at me, talking down their noses at me, saying what I'm not doing right. But now I see somebody else that's saying, look, I need the same grace that you needed. So let's live this together. A lot of people don't want to open themselves up for that.
Here's my question. You seem like a very charismatic individual. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somebody who had probably, alone, you probably was scorching already. You feel what I'm saying? What made you decide to join forces when alone you kind of present your own presence?
That's a real good question. I think personally, and my brother Nigel has said this before, it's like we were going on parallel paths and they just ended up intersecting. So we were already going in the same direction, already had the same goals, already had the same heart. And it's just amazing that once we came together and actually built relationship, we found that out. Instead of trying to do the music and then find it out later. Because then if we would have did the music and it wouldn't have worked out the way we thought, then it's like, okay, well, what now? Because we have two opposing views right now. We're trying to do this, you're trying to do that. So now we have problems. Yeah. So taking the time to build that relationship gave us time to say, oh, snap. That's what you're passionate about too? Oh, snap, you care about that too? I do too. Yeah. So let's keep going. So that's kind of what helped me is being like-minded, having the same heart towards the gospel and towards God's people.
I think it's really important too that they know that we're not doing this for show, that we really are doing outreach, we really are doing ministry, we really are trying to help win souls to the kingdom. Have y'all set up anything that's going to help you do outreach and go out there and be like a witness?
We just launched on January 1 our nonprofit to help us facilitate those things.
Oh, that's what's up.
Because I set up a system to where I left my job September 2013 to start focus on trying to build this, and I was able to receive donations and stuff like that. But we were doing all the label stuff and all the ministry stuff on one umbrella. So the goal was 24 months we'll do that as a missionary partner with my church. And now that's stepped away, like we reached the goal of actually getting approved for our nonprofit, so we're able to split the label functions up and the ministry functions up.
Nice.
So now the ministry side of
Congratulations.
things. Thank you, bro. Thank you so much, man. That was a prayer for 2 years ago, man, and it worked. And now all the people that we're giving, they're now giving there, and that's allowing us to space to start to set up more strategic and systems to be able to do outreach and evangelism, like community events, like the three focuses of it's called expectrenaissance.org, and shameless plug. So the whole point of that is give today. And but the point of that is what we want to build out from it is community discipleship, artist development, and missional events. Yeah. So being able to take artists up and say, hey man, I don't care if you get signed to Renaissance or not. I don't care if you get signed to Lecrae. I don't care if you go roll with D1. I don't care what you do. How can we help you be who God called you to be? Go start your own thing, whatever. We just want to give you some tools, and maybe you can skip a bunch of the hurdles that we tripped over for years. Because we just don't see people handing the tools away. Like, we're in the kingdom of God. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no secrets. Like, people just don't know what to do. Like, this worked for us. Check it out and do your own thing with it. So that's a part of that. And then being able to do events in communities in our area where they're not going to come to a Christian hip hop show. They're definitely not going to buy a CD, and nobody's coming to speak to them, and they're just getting, they're getting Rick Ross stuff for free. How can we go take our stuff to them so people can fund those events? And we actually, got invited to do a mission trip. We might be able to go to Africa in April, you know what I'm saying, and those type of stuff. So that'll all happen under the nonprofit, while at Renaissance Movement Music, it'll be the traditional drop a record, tour, merchandise stuff, and booking all that stuff.
Now, as an artist, how do you stay patient? Because I feel like you guys got to be feeling like, man, you're starting to see like what's possible. You know what I mean? And it's like, man, I see what's possible. I want it to happen right now. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of artists feel like I want it to happen right now. So how do you stay patient through the ups and the downs of that when you feel like you can see the destination right now? I think I know what that feels like. Just being a visionary, you can see it, and it's like, man, why can't this be today? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Go ahead, Mike. That's you.
That's you, bro. Why y'all say that's me?
You the most frustrated, man.
Most jaded rapper in the group. Angry. This is it. Going back to my 9 to 5. Nah, man. I think what it all boils down to with anything, with any goal, with any dream, with any vision, it boils down to going back to the basics of the word, man. Like patience, long suffering. Like, these are things that sometimes as hip-hop artists we kind of get away from, because like you said, we want to see quick results. Nothing that we set out to do, that we plan to do, that's big like this is an overnight thing, bro. It's like, it takes time, it takes blood, sweat, and tears, it takes grind, it takes work. You know, I heard somebody, I forget who it was, somebody who's famous now. They said, "You think I'm new, but you just saw me. I've been grinding for 20 years, bro." Like,
That's one of your lines, right?
It was Kevin Hart.
Yeah, it was just like Kevin Hart said something like
I've been grinding for 20 years. So it takes, you know, and that's something that, you know, we all struggle with from time to time. Because, you know, myself, I mean, I've been doing this for, I don't know, 2000, you know. So 2000, 2001, somewhere around there. So it's been a minute. But in those times, man, I just got to go back to God's word and go back to God's promises, yo. He said he was going to do it. I just got to be patient, man.
Yeah.
And honestly, if it happened when I wanted it to happen, I would have screwed up anyway because I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So got to allow the process, man. Allow God to take you through the process.
That's good.
Yes, sir.
I'm with you on that, because if God would have answered my prayers, man, I would have jacked my family up. I would have been so focused on the goal and serving the Lord that I would have let everything else. I got to go serve Jesus. I got to go do the show. You know what I'm saying? And like, it's just, it wasn't the right timing, man. If God would have answered my prayer, I would have done everything wrong. You know what I'm saying? And for me, like Mike was saying, it was patience. I had to get to a place where I was like, God, if this dream is really for you, am I willing to Isaac this thing? If you told me today to hang everything up and stop, am I cool with that? Or is this my God more than you, and you on the side? You a plus God, but this is my real God. Like, this has to happen for me to keep serving you. And like, I got to a point where I was like, you know what? This is hard, and this is my actual prayer. I don't really believe this right now, but I want to. Help me, Lord, to really put this on the backseat to you. If you don't want me to do this, give me the strength to hang it up, even if I don't want to. And I got to that point, and it was like, it was freeing, because if it happens or if it doesn't, my identity's not in it anymore. I'm going to keep grinding until God says stop. But if it only gets to this point and I save souls along the way, I get to celebrate in eternity, and it was worth it. If I get to do a tour and I'm in front of 50,000 people, praise God. If I save 10, praise God. I mean, he saved them, but he used them. You know what I'm saying? It's worth it. So it was just really getting to the point where I was willing to not just die to myself, but to kill my dream too. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's important for anybody.
I wonder if there are some artists listening that thinks that that's that is almost like a way of giving up. I feel like there's some artists that they're challenged to have that same mentality. They feel like that's quitting.
Yeah.
And I don't think they realize that is how you succeed. It's the dying to yourself is how you live, versus trying to hold on to something that you really want to happen. That's how you're going to die. You see what I'm saying? So I really think that I hear people listening in their brain saying, what he just said, if I do that, that means I'm giving up.
No, man.
You see what I'm saying?
I had that mindset. I had that mindset when I was leaving my job going full time with my daughter my wife had just given birth to my son, my second kid, and I was like, babe, I think I need to leave my pretty stable church job with a salary to go rap for Jesus full time. What do you think? You know? And she was like, yeah, go for it. And I was like, what? Okay. I mean, yeah, sure. Don't change mine. And you know what I'm saying? But like my mindset, before that point, it started like, if you want me to stop this, I will. Am I willing to put this in your hands and say, if you tell me, I'll do it. I want to serve you. I think that when you're willing to give up your most sacred thing to God and say, do what you please, then God's able to take and say, now I can. And I'm not trying to say I'm a more trustworthy person. I labored like, God, please change my heart, because I don't want to give this up. You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of a big thing for me. But I would say for artists, man, like, if it's not giving up, but it's getting to a new place of trust. You know what I'm saying? It's not finding a way to say, well, it ain't happened yet, so let me just pray this prayer. It's just, God, do I trust you enough with the thing most sacred in my heart to give it to you, like fully? Like, can I lay my son down that I've been praying for 20 plus years, and I finally got him? Can I give him to you if you take him away, and trust you got a ram in the bush? Can I do that? And that's kind of what it was.
That's awesome.
I heard a pastor, Tim Keller. He said something. He said something so profound it messed me up. He said, if there is a treasure that you exalt other than God, the only time that you'll pray is when that thing is at stake. Wow. God definitely gives us the gifts to glorify his name, to draw people to him. But if that thing is going to take us away from him, then he will remove it altogether. Because that his actual heart is for us. He wants us. And so if the gift that he gave us is going to keep him from having us, then I believe personally that he will completely remove that thing.
Wow.
Because we're treasuring that thing above him. And that's what he doesn't want us to do. He doesn't want us to put our gifts, our talents, our aspirations, our goals above him. Because in all actuality, if your heart is truly for him, those things will be given as your heart is already offered to him.
Yeah.
He can say, okay, now you're mine. Now you're mine. Like, as he did with Job. He told Satan, he said, go try Job. I know he's not going to curse me. So now he's saying, okay, I can blow Legend up right now because I know he's not going to lose sight of me. I don't care if he's rapping for 100,000 people. He's not going to lose sight of me. And that's
Legend is ready.
Yeah, he's ready. He's ready. Do some laying on the hand. Some laying on the hand. Only my Martin fans will get that. Only my Martin fans will get. You got it.
I got
some laying on the hand. Reverend Rodney Locke.
Interview's going downhill.
It's going downhill. It all started with you. So, yeah, that's personally how I feel about it, man. Just offering that thing to God and saying, Lord, I don't want to treasure this thing above you.
Yeah. That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, man. So tell them where they could find you. Tell them what's coming, what to anticipate from you guys.
Go ahead, Mike.
The articulator.
Mike, your name is Mike. How you gonna pass the mic?
Great articulator.
We well, I don't know what's happening. There's our website is rmmusictv.tv, rmmusic.tv, and that's every single social platform at rmmusictv. That's the label stuff, YouTube and all that. Got music videos. We're dropping a single on Ain't Worried. It's coming out real soon, and that's gonna be available iTunes and everywhere. January 11th. And everything's on the website, rmmusic.tv, and all those social platforms.
Dope website, by the way, man.
Thank you, bro.
Like, really, really clean.
His wife again.
That's you?
Wow.
That's awesome, man.
Nicole.morrisenterprises@gmail.com. She will look your website up. Shameless plug number 2.
Nah,
Wow.
get at her for real. The website is clean. It's real clean. Easy to get to the music. You know what I mean?
Thank you, bro.
Music is right there. One song I'm really, really interested in. It is Insecure.
Oh, thank you,
That joint
man.
was dope. Who is that?
Yeah, that's me.
That's
Yeah.
you?
Halo Hits to that beat.
joint was dope.
Thank you, fam.
Real
Shout out to
talk.
Halo Hits and Wesley Smith.
Yeah, I was in my car like, yeah, I'm so insecure. Because I am, you know what I mean? But
I get it. I get it, man. Like, I get that.
It's so funny when he does that song live. Like, it's an energetic song, so he getting kids to bounce and stuff.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
should we be bouncing saying that we're insecure? Like, I'm so insecure. Like, it is hilarious.
I didn't think about it until I was doing the line one day. I was like, should we be celebrating this? Like, but the beat is turned though. Like, I don't know what to do. I can't stop moving.
that's how I felt, yeah.
Like I see kids in the crowd like, I'm so insecure. I wrote that track's on that's on a free mixtape we did called First King. That's free download on rmmusic.tv. And I wrote that joint just like, how was I feeling in high school? You know what I'm saying? Like, because Dad wasn't
So
there.
I shouldn't be relating to it right now.
Not right now, but we'll pray for you, brother. Laying in the hands. But I still relate to that because I wrote it realizing I still struggle with a bunch of stuff today. Like, I have so many insecurities, and I try to be transparent. Like, I tell them all the time, like, yo, I'm wrestling with this today. I feel like that today. Like, yo, look at all these massive successes. I said, but I still feel like a failure right now because this one thing went bad.
Yeah.
Like, I wrestle with a lot of insecurities. I'm always trying to recalibrate my identity back to the cross every day.
Yeah.
And for me, I think it was daddy issues. You know what I'm saying? Didn't see my dad from 5 to 20. He got addicted to drugs and heroin, and he went to D.C. and was living on the street. So my mom moved back from Missouri, where I was born, to Virginia, and that's where I grew up. And somewhere around 10, 11, 12, I was like, wait a minute. It's been like 7, 8 years. He ain't here. What's going on? And you kind of get when it finally hits home, he's not here by choice. You start to say, what wasn't in me? Because he didn't start drinking until I was born. And drinking turned to drugs, and drugs turned to this. So maybe if I never came, maybe my mom would still be married. Like, all that stuff started popping up. And then it was like, well, what can help me take this pain away? Well, hip-hop's filling a void, an artistic void in me. This is great music. They're telling me I'll find my happiness in sex and in drugs and in this. So I just started doing what most kids do. Like, I need a man to talk to me. And like we're talking about before the interview, like men leading the way. And I started to chase that, and a lot of my insecurities like quadrupled because I need to get sex to feel like a man. If I'm not getting it, I need to see porn, but I feel like a loser because I'm watching porn. I'm not getting in like all this stuff started to just double up. You know what I mean? And so, with God delivering me from that over time, still wrestling with some of it now, I wrote a song. Like, I remember what it was like back in high school, feeling like I got to be the man, homie.
Right, like I ain't the man, but I need to be.
I need to be the man. Right, exactly. I'm not the man, but I need to be. I need to be like this dude. Like, I need to get all the chicks he gets. I need to get all the money. Look at his shoes, yo. I can't get them. I have one pair of Air Force Ones. I've been painting with white, for trying to keep it so fresh all year long. You know what I mean? And I'm like, how do you do that, man? I ran out of the white shoe polish trick. Like, yo, this thing starting to peel off. And like, so how do I, and that's where the song came from, because I know so many people wrestle with that, man. I think a lot of artists wrestle with that. Like, how do my bars ain't as tough as this guy's, man, so I must not be as anointed or whatever. We just wrestle with that stuff, man. I'm just like, my security's in Christ, and when I forget that, I just try to recalibrate. So that's why I wrote the song.
That's good, man.
A lot of people found some healing in that.
All right, Renaissance movement in the building. Make sure you keep up with them. Back in the field, you in the field with the Trackstarz. Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go.
You.
I'ma ride on my enemies, but for violence I'm not certain. Thinking these words would do perfect if these minds could stay.